Hey there, Orioles fans. Today is August 16, 2024, and welcome back into the Talkin O podcast. As always, I'm your host, Evan. And coming in on today's episode, we will be recapping the Orioles' 5-1 win over the Red Sox on Thursday night. We'll also be talking about a little minor league slang that the Orioles did today, too. And we'll also be talking about a roster move the Orioles made, too. So we'll be talking about the game over the Red Sox on Thursday night. Zach Eflin threw another absolute gem for the O's. He threw a season-high 8 strikeouts, also going 16 as a run ball. The only run he gave up was a solo home run to Willie Abreu that put the Sox up 1-0. And he didn't walk anybody on 87 pitches. The bullpen also locked down the game for the second straight night. Gunnar Henderson also hit another home run off of Red Sox starter Nick Pivetta, and Cedric Mullins also hit a home run off of him too. Now we will get into the little minor league signing the O's did. The Orioles signed Matt Baumann to a minor league deal after only making one major league appearance this year for the Seattle Mariners, and we haven't seen him ever since. And some other news that I didn't include in the intro is that Kevin Brown is officially sticking around in Baltimore. The Orioles are now 72-50, tied for first place in the AL East with the Yankees. Now let's get into the roster move that the Orioles made on Thursday, which is that Coby Mayo got sent down to AAA. Despite getting his first hit on Wednesday, he was sent down, and the Orioles recalled Livan Soto. So let's kind of talk about why they did this. Mayo definitely did have a big night for the O's on Wednesday, as he got a walk and then he got his first MLB hit. But he was a kind of shaky third baseman, and the defense was and wasn't there at times, but they weren't ready to stick him over there at third with Westberg with a broken hand. And they were looking at least another month without Westberg playing in the lineup, and then you have to find the answer over there at third. But I don't think the O's want to play Ramon Urias every day, because they also weren't ready to play Coby Mayo too, and that was pretty clear and understandable. Because he has struggled with the bat and the glove at the big league level, but he's not an everyday third baseman yet. But every time they struggle, while be first in the major leagues, Orioles fans start panicking, whether it was Adley Rutschman, Jackson Holliday, Gunnar Henderson, or Colton Cowser. But they go back, they make their adjustments, and then they get called up again, and then they are better the second time around. Then we become stars, and then because we've seen this with every O's hitting prospect, that makes it to the big league level, and in general too. That's because there's a gap between AAA pitching and the quality of the pitching at the big league level, too. But the thing is, you let them break out at AAA, then when you're ready, you call them back up to the big league level. But it is completely understandable why the Orioles did this. Now we will talk about the guy who got called up. Livan Soto was the guy who replaced him. He is a left-handed hitting infielder, and he's mostly a singles hitter. You would rarely see him hit a home run. The O's got him back in that trade with the Reds at the deadline for cash, and they also got Austin Slater back in that trade, too. Now, the Orioles are facing 4 righties against the Red Sox this weekend. It started with Nick Pivetta on Thursday night. Now they are going to face more righties this weekend, but they were looking for at least a platoon where Urias versus righties and Mayo versus lefties. That's what we have seen for the past week or so. And with all the righties in there, that's probably what we wanted, another left-handed bat and Soto, but they were probably planning on starting Urias for at least 3, maybe even all 4 of these games against the Red Sox at third base. And with Coby Mayo right now, it wasn't the best bench piece, especially out of the rest of the bench players with guys like Eloy, who's basically a primary DH, and you also got Ryan O'Hearn on the bench sometimes. You're not looking at a lot of versatile guys on the bench. So with Mayo, who also struggles defensively at third base and first base, but Soto, you can play him with all 3 infield positions, and he can also give you solid defense over there. So basically, you were looking at Urias potentially starting all 4 games against the Red Sox, with Soto potentially coming off the bench to pitch hit for him at times, and you're looking at him coming in late at times defensively. That will do it for this episode of the Talkin O's podcast. I will be back on Monday to recap the final 3 games between the Orioles and the Red Sox, but until then, I'm Evan, and this has been the Talkin O's podcast.